For today's eye makeup look, I'm going to show you how to create this look using two eyeshadows. One for the lid and one for the crease. It's a super easy look, so let's get started. So I've already started by priming my eyelids with a little bit of primer. If you don't have an eyeshadow primer, you can always use concealer and a setting powder. This will create a blank canvas for you to work on. However, primer does give your shadow something to hold on to. So that's why I prefer primer over concealer. I'm first of all going to take that crease shade, which is a matte tone. And I'm going to take my blending brush. So you only need two brushes for this look, a blending brush and a flat brush. Starting with the blending brush, we're going to work this over and back into the crease of the eye. So the crease of the eye is where the eye creases into the eye shape. We're going to start on the outer corner and blend this over and back in this area. And I like to keep my eyes open so I can see the shape that I'm creating, making sure the depth of color is right at the lower point of the crease, blending upwards towards the brows and pretty much disappearing as it gets to the brow area. Take your time blending this over and back until you get the depth of color that you want. And then I'm going to take my lid shade. And whenever I'm applying anything that has a little bit of shimmer, I use a flat brush to apply it. The reason I use a flat brush is it helps the shadow to glide on, particularly with metallics or anything with shimmer or glitter. It just helps them to really hold on to the lid and glide and create that nice glossy look. You want to very slowly build this up, applying a little bit of shadow at a time until you get the depth of color that you want. You also want to pay close attention to the lash line because this is where you want the majority of the shadow to be, blending upwards until it reaches the crease. If you have harsh lines between your crease and your lid, take your brush and slowly smudge between the two. This will help them blend into one another. But don't be afraid to keep blending and applying a little bit as you go along. And I also took that lid shade and applied it underneath the eyes as well. I accidentally ended up applying liner. You might ask me, Sinead, how do you accidentally apply liner? It's because I had a little bit of eyeshadow on my lashes, went to remove it using liner, hit my lash line, and then ended up having to do a very thick line. It's a bit like that meme where you go to do a really thin line and end up super dramatic. That's basically what happened to me. Rather than cutting it out or starting again, I just thought, let's just embrace the mistake. In this Monday makeup lesson, I'm going to be teaching you how to recreate this makeup look. If you're new to the Makeup Chair channel, then click subscribe below. It's totally free. And if you're already subscribed, then thank you and welcome back. Hope you enjoy this look, and let's get started. For this look, you will need two eyeshadows. One matte mid-tone, which is at least one shade darker than your skin tone. One metallic bronze, either a golden bronze, silver, or in my case, a purple bronze. And you'll also need a black pencil liner and a nude pencil, but this is optional. We're only using one brush, so we're using a blending brush. Then mascara, lashes and lash glue, and concealer. So I'm using the concealer as a base, which I've already applied on the lids, and this will create a blank canvas for us to work on. So the first step is to take the blending brush and the matte eyeshadow. You can also use your matte bronzer if you prefer. And we're going to apply this into the crease of the eye. So the crease of the eye is where the eye creases into the eye shape. So we're going to be sweeping the shadow into the crease, blending over and back. We always want to start on the outer edge. Where you place your brush down first will deposit the highest amount of pigment. So we always start on the outer edge and blend in. So sweep from the crease towards the nose and back again. We also want to blend this down onto the lid. And as we sweep down onto the lid, we then want to sweep back up over the crease and up towards the brows. remembering to leave a small gap under the brows to keep that contrast. So you should end up with something that looks like this. The shadow is predominantly in the crease of the eye, blending down and blending up as if to disperse and blur out the crease shade. This technique is great for hooded eyes as it contours the lid, but also works on most eye shapes. It creates depth, shape, and shadow. The next step is to take your black liner and apply this on the upper waterline. So look down in a mirror and let the pencil run up along the upper lash line. If you can't do this, try pushing the liner between the lashes on the lid instead. I'm going to leave that to settle as it will drop down on the lower lash line, but we'll deal with that later. Now taking the bronze shade, you're going to apply this with your fingertips. So I'm using my pinky and running this along the lash line. Try closing your eyes and feeling for the curve of the lid. It sounds odd, but I think knowing how to apply your makeup without a mirror and feeling for the shape actually improves your overall skills. You want to slowly build this up, and the best piece of advice is to make sure that the majority of the color is on the outer edge, and then sweeping and blending and fading in to that inner corner. And this will complement most eye shapes. Then take your blending brush again and softly sweep out any harsh lines. No need to pick up any extra product, just softly sweep. And then do the same thing on the lower lash line, smudging that bronzy tone under the eyes and making sure the outer edge has the majority of the color and blending in. You'll probably notice that all the smudging has caused the black pencil to drop down a little on the lower lash line. That's actually a good thing. We can use this as we're smudging to create a smokier effect. Then I clean my lower lash line of any black and apply a nude liner, but this is optional, though it does open up the eyes a little more. Apply mascara, lashes, and there you go. That is the finished look. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, and I hope that you will try this out and send me it on Instagram if you do. I might go live on Instagram this week, so check out for that. It's at